तो जो व्हिडिओ होता तो आधीचा व्हिडिओ जर तुम्ही पाहिला असेल तर मला लाईक करा, शेअर करा आणि सबस्क्राईब करा. तर त्याचा थोडासा पार्ट मी या साईडला घेतला आहे या व्हिडिओमध्ये. तर मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं की मी तुम्हाला 7चा पाढा दाखवते. तर 7चा पाढा हा इथे आहे. माझ्याकडे आता 8चा पाढा पण अवेलेबल आहे. तर मी तुम्हाला पण हा पण दाखवते. गाईज, मी 8चा पाढा दाखवण्याऐवजी मी आता तुम्हाला सगळेच पाढे दाखवते. दिसत असेल तुम्हाला तर मला सांगा, नाही तर काही पण करा. दिसतंय तुम्हाला तर मस्तच आहे. तर आपण आता ह्याला लागलो. तर कोणाकोणाला माझ्याकडनं स्टोरी ऐकायची असेल, कोणी स्टोरीचा वेळ घेत असेल, कोणाकोणाला वाटत असेल स्टोरी कधी येणार. पण आता तुम्हाला मी स्टोरी देणार आहे ऐकून. तर लेट्स लिसन वन इंग्लिश स्टोरी ऑफ सुधामती, द बर्ड विथ गोल्डन विंग्स. द स्टोरी बुक्स नेम इज, ही आहे ती स्टोरी बुक. ह्याच्यातनं आता आपण एक स्टोरी वाचणार आहोत, द स्मार्टेस्ट कुक. ही आता मी तुम्हाला Shekhar was a very clever young man. One day, he saw some people in his village excitedly discussing something. Shekhar walked up and heard them talking about Narayan, the village landlord. It is impossible to meet Narayan. He never agrees to meet any of us, and he is so scared. Wait a minute. एकच मिनिट तुम्ही थांबा. एकच मिनिट. कॅन यू वेट 1 मिनिट. लाईनी सांगितलं आहे की हे सगळं तुम्हाला व्हिडिओवर टाक किंवा मग कशावरही. So sure that we cannot even go to his house and surprise him. Shekhar listened for a while. Then he peeped up. What is so difficult about his you watch? What is so difficult about this you watch? No, not only will I go and meet him, he will even invite me to have breakfast with him. Everyone burst out laughing at this bold announcement. Go on then, Shekhar. Let us see you do this. We bet 1,000 rupees you will not be able to keep your word. Next morning, Shekhar landed up at the landlord's house. Hefty guards and the gate refused let him enter. But Shekhar was calm. He said to them, "Go and tell your master I have to come talk about gold bricks." Then Narayan heard this from one of his guides. He was curious. He was having breakfast and invited Shekhar to join him. After all, he had to be nice to something of in gold bricks. While having breakfast, Narayan asked, "What is weight of the gold brick?" "It depends on the size." "What is the price?" "It depends on the weight." "How much gold bricks you can bring?" "As many as you want." "When can you bring them?" "Whenever you want." Narayan was impressed. "How many golden bricks do you have?" By now, Shekhar had eaten his fill of the soft white idlis, steaming sambar. "I don't have any," he replied, burping, washing his hands. Narayan was furious. "Then why did you say to talk about the golden bricks?" "That's what I did, didn't I? I talked you about golden bricks. Did I ever say I had bricks?" "Throw this man out," Narayan shouted. "He is a cheat. Sir, please don't worry. I'll go on my own." Shekhar walked away. The other villager had to give him the 1,000 rupees they had promised. A few days later, Shekhar was traveling to another village. He came across a group of villagers standing in the middle of a road, murmuring, "We need a strong man to move this rock from the road." Shaker stood there for a minute and then he said, I will do it for you, but give me 1,000 rupees first. Looking at Shaker, who was as thin as a stick, the villagers were doubtful, but the headman was ready to take the risk. He said, we will pay you half the amount now and other half after the work is done. Shaker agreed. He put 500 rupees in his huge pocket. Then he bent and stood on his back to the huge rock. Everyone stared at him in astonishment. The headman asked, why are you not moving the rock? I'm waiting for someone to place this rock on my back so I can keep wherever you want me. Those who released, they have been tricked. Shaker left them smiling with 100 rupees in his pocket. Next day, he went to another village. The annual village sports day was held. A hefty man with bulging muscle was taking up challenges thrown by the crowd. One person came with a towel on his hand. Throw the towel in such a way that it falls on or behind that wall. I will give you 1,000 rupees as prize if you can do it. The wall was great at distance. The muskmel threw the towel, drew it hard, but the towel just flapped near in the breeze and settled down in grass front of the wall. Now Shaker came forward. Seeing the shining boy take up the challenge, we have today defeated the strongest person in the village. Everyone burst out laughing. Quietly Shaker picked up the towel and tied a stone on to one end, and then he threw it, weighed with stone, and the towel went sailing beyond the wall. Shaker collected his supplies. The king of the kingdom was very fond of good food. One day he announced, I want to find the best cook in the kingdom. Whoever brings me the tastier food, I will get a reward. आणि तुम्हाला समजत असेल 7 मिनिटाचे झालं आहे सगळं. जरा माझी मान बँड करते. The best cooks in the kingdom whipped up mouth-watering plates piled high with atomic biryani, flat slices of sweet fish, and tender vegetables floating in delicate gravies were presented before the king. But the king would put only a few morsels in his mouth and say, he was yet to find the best cook in his kingdom. Shaker walked into the palace and said, Your Majesty, I can bring you the best dish in the world, but you eat that your tongue must be clean. What do you mean by? The king demanded. You must not use your tongue to taste anything before you eat meal I serve you. The king agreed, eager to taste the best food in the world. The next day he refused to eat anything for fear making his tongue unclean. As a result, he had to skip his breakfast, lunch, and tea time snack. By dinner time, the king was very tired, very, very hungry. He was waiting to Shaker to appear with his wonderful meal, counting the minutes till his dinner was served. Soon Shaker respectfully placed before the king a bowl full of plain boiled white rice with some salt on the side. Courtiers were all shocked, but the king was ready to eat anything that was placed before. I can't wait any longer. Give that to me. He snatched the bowl from Shaker's hand and finished off every grain of rice in a hurry. Then he sat back and whipped his mouth, satisfied. Shaker, how was the food, Your Majesty? I've never tasted anything better. But then give me my reward. You only gave me rice and salt. That is not what the best cook in the kingdom I can serve. It is not important what I serve, Your Majesty. What matters is how much you enjoyed the meal. You told me not to taste anything before the meal, so I was hungry, and that is why the rice tastes so good. Protested the king. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. You said yourself that you will never taste anything better, so I should get the prize. The king agrees he had to be outsmarted by Shaker. He liked the young man's sense of humor and ready to wit. He advised himself, Shaker, you are a very intelligent person. Use your brains for better things, and one day you will become very famous. Shaker listened to the king and decided to use unusual intelligence to study hard. And one day he had become the king's favorite minister and helped him a lot of good work for the kingdom. तर तुम्हाला कशी वाटली गोष्ट? मस्त वाटली असेल तर मला प्लीज 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 लाईक करा आणि सबस्क्राईब करा आणि शेअर करा हा व्हिडिओ. आता पार्ट 1 आणि पार्ट 2 तर आहेच. हा पार्ट 2 आहे, फक्त 11 किंवा 10 मिनटाचा असेल, मला नाही माहीत. 11 आय डोंट नो द सेकंड्स अँड मिनिट्स, कारण की मी आता दुरून बोलते तरी तुम्हाला आवाज येत असेल. तर मी आता बाय गाईज, बाय बू बाय. आता तुम्हाला जेव्हा माझ्याकडे बाय बनायचं असेल तुम्ही म्हणायचं मला बू बाय. ठीक आहे. 1 तुमच्याकडे पेन, रिमोट काही असेल जवळ, काय असेल, नोटबुक, स्टॅच्यू, काय 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 फ्रेम, क्लॉक, काय काय काही जे असेल ते. उशी पण चालेल, ही अशी अशी उशी पण चालेल. काय करायचं तुम्ही पेनवरती करायचं आणि बोलायचं बू बाय.